Hi, Carol here, and welcome back to my craft room. I was talking away, lost track of time, and my camera was shut down for who knows how long. I mean, I was talking through most of my image. So, the skin image anyway. So I just took my Misty, was sitting right here. This thing is absolutely wonderful. Put another sheet of paper in here. If you don't have this Misty, you are missing out on something that is truly unique. Save your little loonies and toonies and put them in a jar. Every time you do laundry and you find that change in your hubby's pants, shove it in a jar for your Misty. It won't be before long you'll be able to get one. And here's that novice cleaner that sometimes if you see it when you're out looking around, this is all they sell at our Harley place. This is all I will put on my Harley windshield is this novice cleaner. It is the best, and it won't take your grid off of the Misty. Okay, another thing I wanted to go over here, if I could with you, really quick, because we're going to get right down to this image, is a colorless blender. You're going to use your zero markers, your zero blending markers. So I have, see, look at all the mistakes I make. I have 4 of them, always on the go. Forget 2. You know how I buy everything in 2s, and I do. I have a 2 issue. Just about my Copics, I counted them. I had 400 Copics, because the ones that I use all the time, I have to buy 2. I got 2. My husband bought me the whole set, but then I had 80 more. And so he just, the 80 there, so you end up having all of these markers. And I bought 4 of these because of mistakes you're going to make and need to use it, and it's nice to have them on hand. Another thing, I only need 1, by the way. I don't need 4. So let's put some of these away. And another thing that is nice with your Copics is to have a Copic chart. They're very inexpensive. You can get them over at Simon Says Stamp, whatever. But because I have all of them, I have them all colored in. But you know what I do? As I buy the refills, I X out, no, I put a dot, sorry, on the, that I bought it. And before long you have all of the refills. And then you want to get yourself some colorless blender solution, because this, you can do so many techniques using this on different materials to get stunning looks on your images. So this is over, I think I ordered this at Ellen Hudson, and so I bought 3 bottles of it. Every time I placed an order, you just grab one of these, and before long, I'm just putting them away. You have them. I don't want them sitting there. And there we go. And I'm going to show you some techniques with that. And like I said, let's move down. Don't fear your coloring medium. That is, if I'm going to give any advice about anything, I'm going to zone in on this really nice for you. If I'm going to say one thing, how's that? Because we're going to do the face and arms. I hope that's clear. Let me see. I don't know why it seems to be. It seems to have like this shadow when I put it down like that. Let me just see if I can get it to... I'm going to pull it out. I don't know why that is. It doesn't seem so bad right there. Let's go right there. I was getting like a double image. So anyway, what I was saying before I rudely interrupted myself is your Copics, whatever you use as a marker, your pencils, your ink tents, your anything, go at your image with no fear. Don't let these, they're only markers. Look at them. What can they do to you? Absolutely nothing. Besides stain your clothes and wreck your nails. There's nothing. Don't be afraid of them. And if you make a mistake, 0. That's what these are made for. So, really, you cannot fail. Now, if you want to see somebody, I'm not certified, I just love to color. But if you want to see somebody that is a #1 colorist, there's two I love to watch. Well, three. #1 is Sandy Elnock. She will teach you everything there is to know, probably expand it on her channel. She's with Operation Right Home. I love, love, love her tutorials. The next person I like to watch is Christina Werner. She's very good with her Copics, with anything she does as well. And Amy R. over on Prairie Paper and Ink is a very good colorist as well. So, you know, if they will probably be able to, Sandy will be able to explain things on a higher level because I think she's certified, qualified, above a FID. And mostified, she loves what she does. That's the key. If you love what you're doing, you'll learn through time. So don't let fear grab hold of you when you're doing your coloring. That is my advice. And like I said, sorry, my squeaky chair. When I look at my Copics all in front of me and I decide on, you know, some people have their go-to colors they use all the time. I don't. I might just change up now a few things here. I do not have a go-to. I just look at them, and if they look like they would blend well together, and I use them. Let's take this out, and I have them looking at me here. And the first thing I'm going to do, like I did when I was talking and no camera was rolling, is take my E00. I'm going to decide that the center, everything is going to be the light coming down on this image, okay? And I want to keep the center of her face clear for now, just for now. And I do not go to the end like I did before. I wasn't watching and I went right to the end. I don't like to do that because Copic alcohol markers do spread on your paper. So give it time to come down. Okay, so that's that. And then let's get her arms. Let's do it all at one time. That way this video will be solely on coloring. Oh, I hear my stomach growling. I hope you don't. Yeah, so I'm so glad I found one thing that I have been looking for. In my Copic air system, I am going to clean out my closet in my bedroom. I thought of that last night. I have a Copic air system that Christy's going to get, and do you think I can find it after I cleaned this room? But look at, I found this right in there. Who tucks something for emboss for using your stencils in with your Copics? I mean, come on. I do. Me. And I'm going to gab while I do this. First, I'm going to kind of share with you. Let's get the neck. My approach at Copics. #1, no fear. Do not fear your markers. You will be more relaxed that way. And the next thing I think I could say is don't try to copy. Okay? Now you can learn techniques. You know, you can learn techniques. I'm going to grab my E11. The E11 is in kind of to the oranges. So you have to, as a matter of fact, I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to go to E31. Okay, so I'm going to do some tip to tip. Hold it down for a few seconds. Okay, so just to get up in the top, her skin is going to be pretty fair because there's nothing worse. You can add to, but you cannot take away. I learned that. And the only thing I can say with Copics or blendabilities or chameleon markers or whatever, Tombow markers, whatever you choose to use, don't let, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking here, don't be intimidated and practice. That was the word I used. You have to practice. It's like when I took piano. I took it later in life. And I said, I don't, you know, when we were doing our theory book, I said, I don't want to learn all this theory. I just want to play the piano. She must have thought I was a real dork. And I was honest with her. But you know what? That theory is what builds. I'm going on the outside here. I'm leaving the center right now. That theory is what builds a better pianist, guitarist, whatever. You have to take the bad in with the good. And actually the theory became very, I don't know, I enjoyed it after, you know, the first year. Oh. And so like Copics, what I'm getting at is obviously under the arm is going to be darker, and I just did her dress there without realizing it because I'm talking. So let's just make it a little darker there. I'm going to color the dress so it doesn't matter. So anyway, let's get back to that. Practice, practice, practice. Put a few of these cards in your purse, and 12 markers, 3 of each shade family. So you would take this. If you're using your blendabilities, take a family, take a group, a family group. And just gonna lay them there. Take 4 3-group families. And then while you're waiting at the doctor's or whatever, I have a tiny clipboard, just a little teensy one. I clip on my paper and I sit there and I have my stamped images and I just stamp, color on my stamps. There. Okay. So I left the places that are light for me to come back. So that was E00. Now I will take my E31 and I will come back in with a real light hand on the outside of my image. Darlene DeVry is good too. Live, Love, Laugh channel. She's a very good colorist. Starting to think of people I watch. Sandy Alnock, though, is tops in my book. I learned so much from her. And then you have to go and you have to put it into practice, right? Here comes my flicking down farther, okay? Coming down farther towards the center of the face. I'm not going to the edge because I'm going to use a dark marker down at the bottom. So let's do that. I'll take my E37 and go around the edges. This is going to build the solid color I want. Under the armpits, along this side. It almost looks like, you know, this is what I'm saying. Look at, just really lightly around the edge. There. I'm not flicking on this. Under the neck. I'm going to pull this out. Okay? There we go. Now we will take our, compare it. I'm going to take my 3-4. And this is what I'm going to blend in. Just a little farther on the 3-4. When I look at an image, I'll start up here. That was kind of, pull this down, just like you do hair. You have that dark tone on the bottom. Grab it and push it up into here. I went into the dress. That's okay, right? Because my dress is going to be a different color. And then I remember the third thing, get rid of the lines. So, have no fear, practice, and work on just freeing up your lines. And then you're fine. You'll be fine. Seriously. Just fine. And your coloring will improve over time. I'm talking like I know what I'm talking about. I just know that I love to practice, and it helps eliminate a lot of mistakes. And then when you go on somebody's site and you say, oh, love that. See, what I'm working on now is getting rid of lines. I love that. Then go practice it. Grab those markers. And now we will go with our light. So I will go with the 3. I'll go back in with my 00, I guess. E00. And this is where I mix it all up. And it's finished. My arms are finished. Push that down into the center. Pull it up into the center. You can already see it's leaked a little bit out the side of this one arm, which is really good because I get to use my colorless blender. Yahoo! There. Now, maybe I'll take a 3-5 and I'll sculpt in a nose. I come up from the eye very lightly and I sculpt a nose in there. Can you see that? Where am I? Right like that. It's hard for me to see the camera now. I think you need to come down and see this just a tad more. No, I can't because it doubles in the image. It drives me crazy. Okay, let's take the 3-5, E3-5. Make it a little dark. Come around the edges. Now my hair is going to be brown. So I'm just going underneath a little bit here. I want to see a little bit of contrast in my midtones. Then I'm going to take the light pinkish kind of E02, the orange, and I'm going to pull that nose into my image there with the O2. Add some color, like, you know, some skin color, actual skin color. And that way it takes out my lines. There we go. Now let's start the hair. I can come back to that. That looks pretty good. Let's get my 0 marker though. And let's, oh, this one I don't like. I've used that on something. Let's see. If it has color on it, it doesn't matter. I just want to, there. I want this new one. Oh, it's just right there. Hold it. Hold it. Let it work itself in. And then let it dry. The heat of your hand will help it along, your finger. Then go back. Hold it. I'm just holding it while it's pushing itself back up in there. I love watching that work itself. Love it. Okay, now I gotta go back just for 1 second here and grab my E23 and take this nose and thicken it out there. That was, I can't look at that. There. I'm going in with the E11. Chisel tips are good. Phone again. And E237. So you can't keep looking at it either. You get critical. You get critical of your work. Awesome. Then your 2-3. Just going to blend that out. No lines, right? There we go. Okay. And now that it's dried, go back in. I'm going to do a background technique, so I really don't care. There, it's gone. Okay. Hair. Let's see, what do we want to do with hair? I might want to use some of these browns. Let's start with E21. No, let's start with E15. Let's set down a base. So, I am going to come in on the hair. I am going to leave the places I want to have light tones. That would be right along here. Right on there. Go straight across. And come down. There. Hoping you can see this. And there. Come down. There. You want to stay away from your skin, you know, the darker skin tone that you used. Bring it up. I want my light tone in here. I want my light tone there. And that's where I want those. That's awesome. So let's just quickly, I'm going to grab my 0 again. As soon as I see it coming out, I push it back in. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 times. There. That looks good. That's the perfectionist in me. I really don't like that. I don't. But there's nothing you can do. Let's grab the Cashmere Y32. Okay, so here's where my highlights are going to come in. This is a 3-2. So I'm going, this is the way I work. Let me explain that too. I have not, this is just, I don't know, the way I see things through my eyes. So I'm going to do my mid-tone in the blonde because that will bring out the dark browns. There we go. And I do my hair a different color every time I color, just so you know that. I can't say, okay, this is what I do with this color chart. I have charts. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my E35, my caramel-y color, E35, and this is where I start flicking in to that blonde up. This is just the flicking. Oh, went out there. Great, get to use that stuff again. That's why I bought it, so I could use it, right? Okay, here we go. We're going to come into those nice dark colors now. Just going to be awesome. Okay, so set aside, you've used E35, E34, E37. Now, I'm working, now comes the top, the point. I'm working with the point alone. Okay, kind of a blonde brown thing going on here. Only with the point of my marker. In the way the hair, see how it's starting to look like hair? And you can do it all one color if you want. There we go. So keep that one over there. Oh no, I'm running out of time. E59. Okay. Tip. I always start at the top. Okay. And I can tell right away, honestly, my eye can tell right away it's going to be a pretty color. It can't not be a pretty color. You're using Copics. Okay, here we go. Start bringing those dark up into the light. There we go. Come down. Up, down, follow the hair, just follow the hair. Alright, now we're going to run into some, this is E59, we are going to jump right to E79. Oh, okay, we're going to go into the next part, but I just want you to see how this is progressing on here using the tip of your marker. And I'll see you on the next video. Here's where we are. Let me get down here. We've got our mid-tones. And I'm going to really darken this up, like really darken it up. On the next video, you're not even going to believe how pretty this hair is going to look. We're going to grab some Y32